Yes. On the day Martin Wellman died, did the defendant visit you at your laboratory?
Okay, I'm going for the doom.
She did. And at any time after she left, did you notice a shortage in your supply of potassium cyanide? I don't remember. That's surprising. When you brought your records down to my office, we found 16 tablets you couldn't account for. I certainly could have been used
So
for
I'm not
tests.
trying not to
But you also said that your company was a one-man outfit.
So I will
If anyone made tests with potassium cyanide, you must have done it. I must have. And although they involve the use of a lethal poison, you can't remember making these tests. I can't remember. That's strange. You can't remember making them. You have no records of them. And yet you habitually keep the most accurate account of every experiment you run. You're a witness, Mr. Mason. No question. You may step down. Dr. Granby, were you summoned to the Wellman residence on the evening of June 11th? Tell the court what you saw there, please.
I saw the body of Martin Wellman lying on his bed, fragments of a broken cup scattered on the floor, and what appeared to be a chocolate drink spilled on his nightshirt and on the floor. And I also observed a cherry red.
And were you also present later when an autopsy was performed on the late Martin Wellman after his body had been exhumed?
I was.
As a result of that autopsy, as well as for other reasons, did you arrive at a conclusion as to the cause of death?
Yes. In my opinion, Martin Wellman had been poisoned by cyanide potassium.
Thank you, Doctor. Your witness.
You first saw Martin Wellman's body, Dr. Granby, on the night of his death. Did you at that time note all the symptoms you've just described for this court?
Yes.
Would you state what you certified as the cause of death?
Coronary thrombosis.
And after the autopsy, did you change your mind?
Yes.
Isn't it true that embalming fluid destroys all traces of cyanide in the body?
Yes.
Consequently, after the autopsy, you found no traces of potassium cyanide whatsoever?
No. But there was also no sign of a coronary thrombosis. And there was no other apparent reason for Mr. Wellman's death.
Dr. Granby, would you say that all unexplained deaths were due to cyanide poisoning?
Of course not.
Then why the exception in the death of Martin Wellman?
Well, there was other evidence to support my opinion. Very cherry redness of skin at the time of his death.
Were there any other factors?
Well, there was Nadine's confession.
Then you arrived at your recent expert medical conclusions on the basis of the defendant's alleged confession. In other words, just hearsay evidence. That's all, Doctor.
You may step down. Just a moment, Doctor. Can you explain to this court, sir, why your first diagnosis gave coronary thrombosis as the cause for Martin Wellman's death?
I made an honest mistake, Mr. Berger. The patient did have a history of coronary disease. Unfortunately, at the time of his death, I made an unwarranted assumption. I regret to say that is not unusual.
I think you deserve a great deal of credit for admitting your mistake in public. There are very few men big enough to do that. Thank you again, Doctor.
If the court please, the defense moves for a dismissal on the grounds that the prosecution cannot prove that the deceased died by a criminal agency, namely cyanide poisoning.
Your Honor, we have other expert witnesses to support the people's case. In addition to which, we have a recorded confession of the defendant to be entered in evidence.
I hold that this confession is a confidential communication between doctor and patient and cannot be introduced.
Your motion for a dismissal is premature, Mr. Mason. As to the tape recording, we are now coming to the crux of a legal situation which the court understood would arise. I think that argument should take place outside the presence of the jury.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Very well. The jury will be excused while the court considers this objection. Will not discuss this case or permit it to be discussed in your presence. Nor will you form or express any opinion as to the guilt or innocence of the defendant until the matter is finally submitted to you.
The jury will please rise.
I'm gonna state that, Heidi.
Your Honor, we've established at least the presumption that death was caused by potassium cyanide. This tape recording contains a statement by the defendant she poisoned Martin Wellman.
The defense again submits that recording is a confidential communication. They're going further that it was made under the
Okay, don't
influence
put
of
no
drugs.
crap on my floor. You gotta go clean all this
Generally
up.
conceded.
Oh,
Their
my.
confession is
Every bit of
admissible
it.
no matter how it was obtained, as long as enough physical evidence is introduced to establish the authenticity of that confession.
The court will permit the district attorney to present his corroboration.
Thank you, Your Honor. As previously introduced, People's Exhibit A is an empty shotgun shell which formerly contained number 5 lead shot. People's Exhibit B is a bottle containing potassium cyanide and lead shot from that shotgun shell. People's Exhibit C is an identical bottle containing saccharin and lead shot from a similar shotgun shell.
In what way is Exhibit C pertinent to this case?
I think the defense counsel can answer that question.
If the court please, I can account for Exhibit C. And since the question has been raised that I planted that exhibit for purposes of confusion, I should like to call a witness to refute the insinuation.
The court shall grant Mr. Mason's request.
Thank you, Your Honor. I call Lester Newbern.
Throw it back in the trash.
Newbern, your wife was related to the late Martin Wellman? That is correct. You were friendly with Nadine Marshall? I sympathized with her. And after you learned that she had thrown a bottle containing cyanide tablets into West Side Lake, did you try to help her? Well, how could I? By taking a similar bottle, only this one filled with saccharin, and tossing it into the same lake? Would have popped right back up to the surface. Huh. Not if you first filled it with lead shot in the same way Miss Marshall is alleged to have done. That's ridiculous. Perhaps. But right in your own home, you made a statement to me that you duplicated Miss Marshall's actions with a second bottle, did you not? I did not.